Everyone, hello everyone. Welcome to the third stream of the 1 hour game, even though it's not really an hour. I'm only calling it that because I spent an hour on it originally in the first game jam, but since then I've spent probably over 18 hours, maybe 19 hours on it now. But between last stream and this stream, several changes have been made to the game. Now, the first thing is this pink area has adapted completely, but let's go back to the blue area. I actually made a new level, and it looks like this. So I think it looks pretty cool. And this thing of this level is you go here, and then you collect this. Oops. I'm great at it. Okay. But yeah, you go through here, you collect this one, then you have to come back here and collect. Oh. Well, that's a bug. That's supposed to unlock. Let's check what's the problem with that. Okay. So I implemented a new electric lighting system that makes the things open at certain points. So let's see which one is misbehaving. Okay, so it's one of these two. Which one? It's that one. I think it might supposed to be one. Here, let's turn off the collision real quick. Nope, that's not right. Let's turn it back down to 0. That is so strange. Yeah, bugs always happen. This is essentially half of game development. It's just fixing bugs. Okay, so our bug case is happening when the value is 0. So let's see. It should be changing it by 10 if it's not equal to collected. So let's do a little debugging script part and make it think it's let's make it think my section. That should give us all the information we need to know. Okay. Also, I am really hot right now because it's 100 degrees here. Very, very warm. That's Celsius. No, just kidding. That's Fahrenheit. I would be actually melting if that was the case. Okay, let's check. Collected. Well, that's strange. Something got messed up. If we look at that, yeah, really true. It takes so long to level design when your level editor doesn't work. But I think I figured out the issues. So somewhere in my scripts, collected is getting set back to 0 right after it gets changed by 1. So this would be really easy if I had Growth Patches extension, but I don't at the moment, so I can record it. Okay, so it gets set to 0 there. Here, let's try this. Does this work? Nope. It's still 0. Okay, let's check all the sprites. Maybe a function's getting double called or something. Okay, here, I have a question. Should we continue on trying to fix this, or should we move on to the next part? Because we don't really need the orbs for the section we're trying to design today. And I might just have to figure it out later. Yeah, so just vote for one or the other. Because it's not too exciting to fix a bug that's just not working. Oh, wait. I know where it is. One of these is getting a tick call. And it's setting collected to 0. Okay, let's see if this works now. There we go. See how it works now? Perfect. Yay. Now, the problem with having fewer sprites is it makes the scripts start to get really complicated. And it's just easier to add new features when you don't do that. So that's why I'm doing that. Okay, so let's make it think nothing. Remove that. Now it's working fine. So as we can see, we collect the first one, it unlocks that, we move to here, then we collect this one, and then we can get to the portal. And then we go to here, and we go to the end. Okay, great. Now we're in the new section. This area, its main appeal is a completely new feature, which is a teleporter. Now you might ask, how does a teleporter work in a mouse game? You can't teleport the mouse. Well, the only way I could think to do it was this. So if I click on this, and then I move to here, it like opens a little portal thing, and then I can move over the parts. Let me turn on the detection just to show that it actually works. So normally I can't just move over like that, but if I go down here, I can move through it. So you can essentially move over the things just by moving through a really easy path. So it's essentially 100% guaranteed you're going to move to the other side, especially if you're playing in full screen. Now, I also, before I get into designing some of those levels, I want to show a new, the fourth and final section. So I've decided on the color palette, but we're not going to make any of the levels in this episode. We're going to make them in the final next week's episode. And that is starting on level 16. So essentially, I think you got the gist of this. This is the final 5 hardest levels. So it's essentially the first 5 are easy. The second 5 are harder, but not too hard. The ones we're designing today are pretty difficult. And then the final 5 are a real challenge. So I tried to make it kind of a little corrupted and it looks very sharp and kind of hard to maneuver and stuff. And that's essentially what it's supposed to be, because it's the hardest levels. So we're going to leave that for next episode. But thank you, Celix, for helping me with the color palette, because I essentially had the wrong red colors before, and he gave me some feedback saying that he didn't think those colors looked good. So I changed them, and I think they look way better now. Okay, let's actually start back on the teleporter level. Okay, so I've created costumes for each of these levels. As you can see, the first 9 are done. The 11th is not really done. This is not the final version of the level. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to design the level right here in the next costume, which will allow me to, if you see this one, I made these so I could have a template for my future, like the future design when I actually adapt the whole design in. Okay, so we have to come up with a little bit of a gameplay mechanic that allows for a teleporter, or needs a teleporter. And I think what that means is we want two separate sections that are not connected in any way. And I think we can show that by having something like this. Okay, that was really badly drawn, but whatever. Essentially something like that. And let's change color real quick. So this is the teleporter. It teleports to here. But yeah, it would be nice to throw the mouse, but I can't actually throw the mouse because it's scratched and I have zero control over the user's mouse. So you have to go with this strategy. Okay, so and then this right here is the start at the end. And now I think, what else? There have to be obstacles because it's a harder level. I could always put lightning, but I feel like, oh, I know. Okay, so we had those little, like, how to explain them? Thorns. So it's a little bit more open in this one, but it makes it harder because you have to navigate carefully between them. And then we can have something like this, this, and then right here, I think I'm actually going to make one of those. Sorry, I accidentally, for some reason I clicked my mic and I turned my audio off. How long was it off? I'm just wondering. It's probably only like 40 seconds or something though. I didn't say that much. All I was saying is I'm having trouble filling it in essentially. I have to. Okay, just 20 seconds, that's fine. Okay, so I'm gonna try to fill this in. And again, I have to do it manually because I don't know why it won't work. But essentially all I do is I just fill it in very carefully. There we go. And now I can just fill in this side. Perfect, we're almost done. Now let's zoom out a little bit and fill in right here, fill in right here, and right here. Okay, excellent. And what do you mean in order around? Okay. Let me turn this down to 6. Okay, let me check my level design in this one. Okay, so it's a lot smoother. Okay, so this is a lot smoother landscape. There's not as many rocks, so it's kind of just like this. Kind of just fill it in. Now I'm gonna erase this because it's a little. So kind of like that. And then I'll just move that in right there. Okay, see how the level kind of, it starts looking actually more detailed once you just add, you just smooth out and you kind of make sharper sections. It just looks better. And it'll look even better once I add the final touches. Okay. So remember, we don't need that many obstacles. It can be pretty straight because the obstacles are going to be in the form of thorns. Oh no. Forgot I didn't group these. Okay, let's group it. Don't worry, I have this saved in a different file if I accidentally delete anything. Okay. So let's copy all 4 of these and move them into here. What tips are you looking for in art? What kind of art do you do? There's a lot of different art genres, like traditional art and well, scratch art is one. Okay, so I didn't draw anywhere near enough of these things, so I'm gonna actually have to custom draw some of these. So even though the secret with this landscape is, even though it looks softer and forgiving, it's actually not. The things are essentially poisonous. It's a little... Oh wait, I forgot to add this. Okay, well, for what I'm doing, I would recommend... let's see. I'd recommend looking at silhouettes and stuff. And you'll notice that sharper segments are actually better than smoother ones most of the time. So the you don't want to make a surface that looks like this. It'll look like you just drew it. You kind of want something that looks more like this. A little sharper. And then when you fill them both in, like this, well, you kind of end up with a shape that actually works for stuff. What does this work for? It's literally just looks like a round thing. So what you want is then you can use something like this, and you can just turn it, and you can add it to any part of your landscape, and you can make it work in a bunch of different orientations. So watch this. See how it works? It just kind of adds to that little bit of a... Oh man, they almost fit. It's so sad. Okay, but yeah, you really want to go for sharper things usually. It actually makes things look more detailed. Sometimes you want to go for softer things, but most of the time you want sharper things. Actually, hear about this. Sharper things that have softer edges. So see how these kind of have rounded corners, but they look like they have like sharpness to them. We don't want to lure them into any false sense of security, though. This is the 15th level. They're wait, this is the 11th level. They're already deep into this. This is not going to be an easy section. Then again, the next one's going to be even harder. Okay, so I think what I did with this is I took, let's see what thickness line I took. Okay, I took I forgot I have to copy it. The individual selection. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now I'm just gonna draw. So what I do with these is I kind of just take 2 points like this, and then I place them in the area, and then I turn these 2 front points to make it so they kind of work like a vine would. You gotta be very careful because otherwise it won't look natural. I'm not trying to make it look too natural, like what vines actually grow like this, but like, yeah, I'd like to have actual good looking. See, I'm just gonna, and the best thing is, don't feel too obligated to keep making new art. It's a little bit of a waste of time because it really is just better to reuse stuff as long as you can get away with it. And I guess blackberry vines kind of do that, but they don't really grow out and then in. They kind of just like start on the ground, then they kind of hoop up and then come back and land on the ground. They don't really do that on their sides. Okay, so I think I had one here. So I'll kind of just make this one extend pretty far. Like this. And then I'm going to add this one right here. I'm going to add it onto the end over here. Yeah, I recycle art a lot, and you might not even be able to tell on most of it. But yeah, I do it a ton. Because you saw it, I just did it a bunch of times. Okay, so now the second thing I would do in this is I just copy this thing, and I figure out what line. I think I used a line thickness of 5, and then I just kind of hand draw the puffy things. Oh, the little grass tufts. That's a custom asset I drew, so you're gonna have to just draw it yourself, and then just copy and paste it. But yeah, that's something I drew a little while ago. Actually, a fair bit of a while ago. So I'll make those look a little sharper in a bit. And a lot of things can be recycled by, oh yeah, the orb recycles a lot. Wait, what are you talking about? Don't you know I drew every single one of those stalagmites individually? Command C doesn't exist. Are you accusing me of being a copier? I would never do such a thing. Okay, I think that's all I need. So now I just kind of come in and I vary the surfaces. Like this. And I just branch them in, branch them out. Let's fill in that area. I'll do the same thing here. Let's do a little bit of variation here. Makes the lines look less like everything is imperfection. So you want to be very careful with how perfect you make things look. So there, if we see, that looks a lot better. Wait, what are you saying? What project is what in? Yes, of course. Nobody actually uses Command C and Command V. Every cool person just remakes it every single time. Funny story. Every single platformer I've made in any recent time, I have not copied my platformer engine. I just recode it from memory. Don't recommend it. I really don't recommend it. Don't do that. It's really slow. And I'm not kidding. It's exactly the same engine. I just recode it from memory instead of copying it. Gives me zero flexibility. I just have a lot of practice coding my engine really fast. I seriously don't recommend it. Okay, let's see this. Okay. Looking much better. Nah, you're fine. I'll only have to ban you for that, though. I can't have people closing the tab on me. It's tragic, I'm sorry, but I just can't accept that. See, as long as I have like 2 people viewing my stream, it's fun to stream. So thanks all for being here, because otherwise, if nobody was here, I don't think I would ever finish this game. Just kind of stop on it. The possibility exists, but I personally don't think I'd have the motivation to finish the entire game, considering how much time this takes. So thank you all for watching. Okay, let's see. Let's add these things in. More of these. Okay, I'm going to copy some of the spikes from... Wait, no, these are all drawn in. I'm going to copy some of them from here. And paste them in here. Remember to change the color. Okay, where did it go? There we go. Perfect. Almost perfect. Let's drop it down just a little bit. And then right here, I'm going to add a few more spikes. Okay, looking good. Oh my goodness, it's warm in here. Okay. Now the next thing to do, I think, is to put the start and end portals and see if they fit. I don't think they will, so I think I'm gonna have to extend it. Okay, let's try it. Okay, so this is level 11. So we have 20, 21, and 22. Okay, so that looks about right. So let's do negative 120. Almost. Let's do negative 100. Okay, perfect. I'll just have to extend that a little bit. It's a little too small. Okay, and then the spawn points will also be the same values. 21 and 22. So we're going to make this about 0. No. Negative 25. And then probably about 100. Nope, 90. Perfect. Okay, looks much better. Okay, now we got to do the hardest part, which is actually making the teleporter work. So most of it works, but not all of it works. And that's a problem. So the reason why it doesn't work is because, yeah, it just doesn't work. No, that's not the reason it doesn't work. It doesn't work entirely because it's very hard to make something teleport between 2 points without pen. And because of that, I had to make something very complicated. Okay, so let's change these points up a little bit. Okay, I have to... Oh, 1 second. I'm forgetting how to do this. Okay, I think 95 will do it. Negative 130. Okay, so I'm changing the values of these points so they can actually work. So this one's going to be something like 140. No, 143, and then 90. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now the problem is, if we look, the things don't spawn in the correct spot. Oh, hello. Welcome to the stream. Glad you made it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to force show these. I clear graphic effects and show. Okay, one second. I'm going to make it point in the current direction so it's not. Let's set the size to 100. Okay, so we see that's where the problem is. And yeah, so let's change that real quick. So we're going to group these. We're going to group these. Group these. Group these. And group these. Okay, so now all I gotta do, I think, is just give a little bit of a rotation. Oh wait, I forgot it has to be centered because of how it works. But I can change it later. I'm gonna have to come up with a better system. This is a really slow system. Slow and boring system. Okay, let's try that again. Look at that work. Excellent. Okay, let's try that in full screen because it's a little difficult in small screen. Okay, not too hard. So now we got to add in the little hard obstacles. Oh my goodness, it's so hot. Okay. So yeah, I think we were gonna add in a little spinning thing. So let's go into here. I'm not there. Is that it? Oh yeah, it is. Okay. So down here, we're gonna add a new type, type 12. This is a spinning thing. So we're just gonna switch it to a certain type. And don't worry, we'll customize this later. But for now, I'm just gonna copy this one. Oh wait, no, I want this one. It's smaller. Okay, so now I'm just gonna take the foreground color, not the foreground, this color. I'm gonna go into here. I'm just going to paint bucket it. Then I'm just gonna change the entire thing to that color. Excellent. A worm. Okay, let's see. Okay, now we just spawn an object of type 12. We don't need a positional override. So we'll just set it here. 150. Even more, 180. 185. Okay. There we go, nice and easy. Let's turn the size down just a smidgen. Okay, then let's increase the height by 15. Perfect, okay. So now it's really hard, and anything else that needs to be added. I guess we could go back into the old realm of things and just add another lightning thing. It's not like the lightning literally finished. It doesn't necessarily have to be confined to the other biome. Okay, we're going to spawn one. Oops. Oh, there we go. Okay, so that's gonna be negative 50, negative 150, negative 50, I think. Yeah, something like that. Okay, let's make it so it doesn't stop and show. Okay, one second, that was the wrong value to change. Okay, there we go. That looks about right. I think I'm gonna move it over just a tad smidgen. A little bit more than that. There we go, perfect. Okay, and then let's move it up just a tad. I have a question. Does anyone use those words, smidgen and tad? I use it a lot, and I don't know if anyone actually uses those. It's kind of funny. Okay, this is looking a little rough. Okay, good. I'm not the only one. I just never hear people use smidgen. So I feel like I'm kind of weird in that. Must be what I grew up with. Okay, so I just got to essentially... I would animate a longer one, but I don't really care that much. I'm just going to make it short. And then we'll make it look a little more brought into it. There we go. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I think what we need to work on is the back layers now. Honestly, this one's not too bad. Let's delete this. I had this little thing on for show. Okay, okay, I think I'm gonna change it so it's only at the top here like this. Right about there. And then it'll be down here at the end. Right here. Yeah, good. Okay. There we go again, right there. And then we can just kind of shove, oops. I'll shove it in up here. It's so hot in here, my computer has to kick up its fans. Also, if you're wondering how hot I mean by hot, it's like 80 degrees in here, not outside in the house. Your prayers are needed. Okay, I'm gonna add this one here. And then this one right here. And maybe one right here. Okay, good. That looks pretty. I don't really want to give away the puff thing because it's kind of like my signature thing. Like I use it in a lot of things, so if you use it, you're gonna essentially replicate my art. So I'd probably rather not. Okay, now let's add in the details. Okay, right here. Oh, this, I see what's happening. This is the really old art. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. That's really hot. Let's scale this down. It's a little too glowy. There we go. And then the next final layer. This is almost perfect, but there's a problem with it. I kind of want it to be more like that. Then this one's gonna move a little bit more over here, like that. Right here. Let's remove that one, it's too cluttered. You see, we gotta be careful. We don't want too many of these because it'll actually clutter up the scene. So I'm just gonna kind of leave it like that. Copy this, rotate it. Perfect. Okay. And now, what do you mean it's not possible to group? You mean like literally merge into one shape like this? Okay. We have one more thing to do. Oh yeah, it's this thing. What's that logo look like? I haven't seen that or even heard of that actually. There we go. A little bit more brambly. I could remove the lightning, but I kind of like it. I just like the little white effect. I think it adds a nice little bit of contrast. I'll make it really slow. Oh, there's not enough. No, it's too slow. It's hard to tell when it's actually happening. Okay. So I'm going to copy this, make it here. And we're going to do render speed times 2. Okay, this is a little clever script I came up with. So essentially to make something, well, obviously I'm not that clever because it didn't work. The bubbles are reserved for the last set of levels. Okay, I can make this a little less tight. If that is what you desire. There we go. Like that. Group that. And then, yeah, I'll leave that. And then, I think the foreground might be contributing to it, so let's fix that. Okay, now let's figure out why that little bit of lightning's flashing so much. Okay, so stutter speed is a variable like that. And it should be let's have it say, I think it's, what? Why is it 1? Is it not getting set? Oh. Okay, I forgot that was the time delay. Okay. There we go. Okay. So I think that looks pretty good. But there's one problem, and that's the fact that the little thing is actually claustrophobic. But it's kind of because that goal is so close to the border. So let's increase the space it has. So Let's remove these so we can get access to it. There we go. No, but we don't want the bubbles because the bubbles are only for the final area. It's one of the defining features. I don't know, is there a problem with being solid purple? It's kind of consistent with the previous levels, I think. Good, there we go. And I think that works. Okay, we can test it out, see if it works. Let me save it to my computer. Okay. I'll be totally honest, it's pretty easy. But I guess we can have the first one be pretty easy. There's no real problem with that. Oh, that took a little longer than I expected, though. Should we finish the 10th level instead of the 12th level? I feel like the pink ones are really hard to do. And we probably only have time for one more level. Okay. Okay, so this was the previous level. And there's one more crystal level, and then we jump into the next section. So this is supposed to be the hardest of the section, and this section is kind of defined by lightning, orbs, well, these little, I call everything orbs now, but these little things that allow the portal to be unlocked and stuff, so the level's just kind of extended by using those. So we can start designing it right in here. Okay, so one thing I noticed is that I made these chambers kind of crystalline. If you look, they look a little more like rectangles, just by design. Compared to something like this, which is a little softer. These ones are pretty sharp. So we gotta do one more of those. So, I don't think there's any easy stuff left to do in this game. Everything in it is hard to do from this point on. Okay, I'm just gonna try to design the level just in one. Okay, one second, I'm going to my little meditation zone so I can figure out the level. I'm picturing, I thought it would be cool to have something spin, but I don't know if that makes sense because I didn't have anything spin previously in the section. The first area was moving. This one's what? Oh, I think I got a good one actually. What if there's something combined with that? So that thing that moved back and forth, like it was like a platform thing, and it would go both ways. What about something like that, but with lightning, that you have to avoid the lightning and it at once? So let's see. So let's say we start here. We have to go all the way over here. So something like that. and the portals, the orbs here and the portals here, and another orbs here, and then there's lightning here, lightning here, lightning here. Wait 1 second. Okay. Oh wait, okay. I have a change of ideas. So instead of that, we have the last orb is actually behind the start. So, oops, I forgot what I was gonna do. Okay, so like this, the start ends up like this right here, and then this kind of comes in like here for the last little section, and the orb's there, and we gotta go in here to avoid the thing while these sections are dropping down. And yeah, and then we end up with another blue lightning. Well, it's just blue for now, but the lightning's here. And then there's another one that flashes right here. So you gotta wait here and time your movement. And then we'll add one more. Wait, no, we don't need one there. Okay, because you go over here, you get this one, and you come back, you get this one. And with each one of those, the orientation of this lightning changes. So I think that should work well. Okay, let's get to designing it. See, that's the level of detail these levels have to take now, because I have to really plan them out. I can't just jump into it with no forethought anymore. Ah, the simple days. Please don't have me custom filled in again. Well, sort of. Let's do it to 30. Okay. Build in here. And if you look at it now, it doesn't look at all crystalline. It doesn't even look like to have that blocky type structure, but I promise you it will. And it's all in the detailing stage. And it's really crazy how something doesn't... I don't know if I have a behind the scenes. I might have a behind the scenes of the level I did off stream. I might have like a progress update that I can post on my community tab. But it's really interesting how it goes from looking very average to an actual section just by doing some careful little tweaks. That might be an interesting video, how to discern sections in a video game, differentiate them. It took me so long to figure out how to make things look similar but not the same. It is actually a very hard concept to make things look like they belong together, but they're not actually. The player would never mistake them for being the same thing, but they feel like they belong together. Yeah, pretty much. Oh no. Gotta be very careful with that. I don't even know what that was. Remember, this is the crystal area, so it has almost none of that grass. Well, that's too big. think I'm going to have a moving thing here. And then the portal can go here, so it's going to need some more space. Don't want to make the same mistake I made last time. Didn't have enough space. Okay, it's looking good. Let's move the starting and finishing areas so we have them nicely. And then, oops, just a little bit extra. Oh, and the other corner. I missed the corners. How did I do that? Interesting. Okay. There's actually one issue I noticed with this, and it looks like, if you look at the level carefully, it looks like it's not centered. And that's not really a fault of the level, it's just kind of how I designed it, but it's actually better to have the widths kind of center the... Hey, welcome to the stream. Okay. So spawn points, it's level 9, so number 7, wait, it's levels 10. Okay, so 20 and 21. So negative 40. That doesn't seem right. Oh, it must be 19 and 20. Okay, there we go. Oh, perfect. Okay, we're done with that one. Oh, this one's gonna be a little harder. Oh, actually, for the required orbs, we need 2 of them. Oops. Okay, weird thing. Scratch doesn't save values if you do it and then you hide the list. It's really annoying. Huh. Nice profile picture. Although, I'm probably not changing because I've had this one for so long. I rarely ever change my profile picture. The only platform I have a different one in is Discord now. Ah, I see. But still, nice job. I haven't made logos in a long while. I used to make them all the time. But I just don't make them anymore because I decided that just wasn't for me. I made more thumbnails now. Okay, that's looking good. Now, what should we do next? Should we refine the level or should we add in the lightning? I think we should refine the level first. Because then the lightning will really add to it. Okay, now I gotta make it look a little gem-like. Yeah, people call me CK7 a lot, actually. Not in real life, though. That will be a strange day if someone calls me CK7 in real life. The funny thing is, I don't really... People like on Scratch like to say, oh my goodness, you have so many followers, you're famous. But realistically, you're not really famous until you have people recognize you in real life, truthfully. Unless you have like a really big thing where someone doesn't see your face, like whatever that channel's called. It's the one that makes all those fake tutorials. Anyone know what I'm talking about? It's the one, he likes to smash eggs. I can't remember the name. I don't know. I'll post in the Discord after if you're able to join. But yeah, it is funny though because I never considered that my presence on Scratch would get me recognized anywhere else than Scratch, but it's happened at least 30 times, which is a really weird experience. I'm just always surprised. Like some people, if you're like actually famous, then you're not really surprised when people recognize you, but I'm always surprised when people recognize my games or my profile picture online, particularly on Discord, but also on YouTube. I can't wait to actually release this game. It'll be a crazy time. I don't think I'm gonna finish this on stream. It's already getting. It took so long in that first level. I think I'm running over my time. So I think I'll finish this right after. I'll finish this like detailing of this, but I'm not gonna actually finish the level design until after the stream. But mark my words, the last stream will be covering the final section. I'll probably have made the first level, so I don't have to figure out what I'm making on stream. It'll be a little bit more interesting. But yeah, that's the last stream. There's no more of the 1 hour games. Yeah. Honestly, off camera grinding, there's probably 6 times more content off camera than there is on camera for this. Okay. Now we have to go into here and copy all the little. Actually, I'm just gonna steal every single one of them. Oh wait, there's too many. Okay, never mind. I'm not stealing every single one of them. I'm just gonna steal a bunch of individuals. There, that should be enough. Perfect. Okay, now, what do you mean grind with me? Okay, so kind of just throw these crystals in like this, and it'll very quickly become crystal-esque. How many of you have heard someone in real life say sus in a conversation? I don't think I've ever heard anyone else than me use it in a real conversation. I've just been indoctrinated from Discord. one's looking a little strange. There we go. Okay. Oh. Excellent, excellent. The sus has infected everyone. Now here's the real question. Have you ever heard someone say pog in real life? Or lol? But like in a conversation. And not saying LOL, just like lol. I too am the person who says pog IRL. I don't use it as much though. I probably say sus or one of those other epic phrases more. Okay. No, I'm pretty sure everyone says pog or sus in real life. If you only have an online life, that's the secret. Okay, one second, let me copy this one. Be honest though. Does anyone who actually says pog, lol, and sus in real life want to say it more, or do they want to say it less? Because I want to say it less. Okay. I am going to do a little bit more talking, but I'm going to end it here because the last little bit of stuff is going to take a very little bit of time to iron out, and I think that's the majority of the level finished. But let's see what the consensus is on if you want to say it more or less. Less, good on you. If you want to say it more, I don't know what's wrong with you. You might want to go check with your local doctor. Something might be wrong with your brain. Because nobody in their right mind actually wants to say it more. Everyone knows that makes you, every time you say it, you lose one cool point. I don't know how many cool points you start with, but I assume how many you end up with is highly dependent on how many times you say sus or pog in real life. Oh my goodness, Felix. Oh, terrible. Yeah. I don't know. Is it even possible to get cool points back? I think once you lose them, you're stuck with that amount of cool points. Okay. But I think that's about all the game development I have in me for today, since I already did a bunch of level design earlier today. But I'm going to work on this a little bit more, maybe later tonight, finish it up. And by next stream, there will be at least 3 pink levels, and all the blue levels will be done. And then we'll be working on the red levels. And then about a week after that final episode, the game will be done. Completely done. And then I will release it. So, thanks everyone for watching. I love when people join in. It really helps me with my game development ideas. And it really helps me iron out some bugs when people give me suggestions. So, thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.